Well, good evening or good morning, everybody. I was in the middle of brushing my teeth for bed, and I just started getting all of these downloads. And I really felt like I needed to bring these through for you this evening. And so I got a few cards out, and we're going to do a middle of the night card spread. Okay, so first of all, you're on a new timeline, babe. You're on a new timeline, and you should be really proud of yourself. You've worked really, really hard to get here. And even if things aren't completely falling into place just yet, you can feel it. You can feel those tentacles, those tingles, those vibrations, that feeling like something new is coming. And yes, there is a lot of chaos in the world right now. But as we've talked about before, we can hold the paradox of both the chaos and the birthings in one container, right? We are sacred vessels, and we are built to handle all of it, even though sometimes it doesn't feel like it. But you can, and you are. You're doing it. Even if some days you doubt yourself or the path is foggy, believe in yourself. You're doing it. It's happening. So as I was channeling some of these messages, a couple themes started to come through. Mainly, number one, you are on a new timeline. I saw the 3 of Swords in my mind's eye, and it was in the reverse position, meaning that you're healing. You're healing some kind of heartbreak. You're healing some kind of emotional turmoil. Maybe it's been a really long, hard road the past 1, 3, 5, 9, 10 years for you, but you're healing something big. This feels like something big. This could be a big relationship. This could be shifting jobs where you feel more respected. This could be stepping out and birthing your own project. This could be shifting the way that you've always looked at life, maybe how you've seen things, different patterns that you've believed in, and all of a sudden you realize they're a crock of shit. You're changing something. You're changing from the inside out, and you're healing your heart while doing it. You're regulating your nervous system. And that's a big thing. That's a big win. And you should be so proud of yourself. Even if you're not completely seeing the end result yet, it is coming. It is, you're getting there. It's so close. You continue to take those steps. So the first thing I'm seeing just in my mind's eye is that you're healing. You're healing. I'm also seeing, as we're sitting kind of in the midpoint of this Mercury retrograde, we're reviewing. And as we're healing our hearts, some big emotions, I felt this as I was channeling this message, some really big emotions started to well up within me. And they're kind of hard to sit with, right? Maybe it's sadness, maybe it's heartbreak, maybe it's letting go of a dream or a vision that you really believed in, or, maybe you were creating it with somebody, a romantic partner, a friendship, a circle, a, job situation, something like that. You're letting go of something as you're building something new. And even though the strong emotions come up to process all of that, it's not deterring you, making you want to get back into your comfort zone. You're really making big strides here by being able to sit with these emotions and process them, but stand strong in your conviction to build anew. So again, major kudos to you. You're doing it. You're doing a good job. Another theme that came up was tests in this retrograde. So maybe lately you have gone through some tests. Maybe old contacts have reached out to you to try to draw you back into familiar old patterning, old timelines. And you're saying no. You're standing strong in your boundaries. And even if that does tug on your emotional heartstrings, you're really investing and trusting and putting your magic into what you're building in the future. You are no longer denying yourself what you're worth. You're no longer betraying yourself. You are living in what you want to manifest in the future. And you are creating the steps to get there by setting these big boundaries and by staying true to where your heart is taking you. One other thing that I'm really recognizing here in this energy that I'm channeling is authority. It feels like some kind of shift into more of a confident zone. Maybe it's self-mastery. Maybe it's mastery on some of the shadow elements that you've been working with. Perhaps it's a lack mentality. Perhaps it's a victim mentality. Perhaps it's just saying no to those things that you've said yes to that have kept you stuck for a really long time. But you're stepping into the authority of your soul. You're stepping into the authority of your heart. And by doing that, you are boomeranging yourself into the new timeline that you are calling in. It is meeting you there. So stand strong in your authority. And the last thing that I was channeling was this kind of silly, whimsical feeling. It feels joyful. It feels light. It feels airy. It feels honestly goofy AF. And this whimsical feeling, finding whimsy and authenticity in every day, is carrying you further into this new timeline you are creating. The more whimsical you are, the more playful you are, the more you embody a sense of childlike wonder, the quicker you are pulling in this new timeline for yourself. You are destroying systems where we need to show up stone-faced and super serious all the time, where we need to live and abide by other people's rules of our happiness, our joy, how we present information, how we move through this life. We're calling back our whimsy. We're calling back our playfulness. And the world needs us to get a little bit more weird. So being the authority figure on your weirdness, being the authority figure on your authenticity is just the recipe that this new timeline needs from you. So do more of that. All right, enough for our channeled messages for this evening. We're now going to shift into our cards. I pulled 3 main oracle cards and 4 supporting tarot cards. The first one we get, which is fantastic, is number 24. It's the card of light. And we see this angel stepping through this beautiful portal. And I feel like she's like, hey, come up the stairs, come into this next timeline with me. It's the card of the angelic realm. And this card is saying, this is your time to remember who you are at your source and where you have come from. Pure light. Your essence is radiant and clear. Of course, there are times when you forget this. We all do. But you're a human with a physical body. At your source, you are luminescent, infinite, and immortal. Your energy can heal the world. This is also a reminder that angels surround you always. If you are not feeling their loving luminescence, then clarity is called for. Clutter clear anything that you do not love or do not use. Remove as much as you can of your physical and emotional mental load. Get rid of physical objects that clog your energy, and so importantly, release relationships that do not support you and where you're going. Move away from situations that deplete your vital life force energy. Make space for light to shine in every area of your life. If your life starts to feel dim, close your eyes and visualize wings of light embracing you. Your energy will begin to be restored. You are loved way more than you can ever imagine. So I love this card to start out this beautiful reading to confirm, hey, you are light. You have the support of the angelic realm, and you are going somewhere holy. So continue to hold that line, clear out what no longer serves, and trust that your whimsy, that your boundary setting, that your authority and authenticity will bring you into this next chapter. And of course, the next card we get here is transition, number 345. It says, you are in a period of transition and change. Embrace new beginnings and trust the process of transformation unfolding in your life. And yes, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, angels. This is a huge transitional period for so many of us as individuals as well as the collective. And we are surrounded in our light as we do that. The third oracle card that we got, and I cannot make this up, it's awesome. It is the Phoenix rising from the ashes. And so many of us know that story, right? It is a story about rebirth and being reborn. And sometimes that process is brutal. Sometimes that process causes just so much pain and suffering and really causes us to pull ourselves up from our bootstraps and step forward with confidence and sometimes a little craziness, because I think being reborn always takes a little bit of unhinged energy, right? We got to be brave and courageous, strong in our conviction to find the new. And the card is transform limits. Allow spirit to take away doubts, fears, and attachments. The mantra for this card is, I change my life with ease. Ooh, that feels good. So call on the angelic realm as you're in this period of transition. Call on your guides and all of your heavenly helpers to help shift your life into the best possible outcome. So many times we focus on all of the problems that can go wrong and how difficult we think change will be. But do we ever actually give ourselves a storyline that maybe it could be easier? So let's try that. Let's say I change my life with ease. Drop it in the comments. All right, so next we are moving on to our tarot, which gives us a little bit more individual clarity. And the first card we got, of course, like this is a great spread, is the Ten of Cups. As I like happy life, happy wife. It's the card of happy family, happy partnership, happy union. It's completion. It's a wish come true. It is just having everything in life, you know, the rainbow is bringing us from one space to the next. It's that hope that fills our cup of life all the way up. We are truly satisfied in all spaces of our lives, and it's available to us. It's saying, hey, keep the faith. The next card we get here is the Queen of Swords, and it's a reminder that the feminine is rising in a new way within all of us. It doesn't matter how you identify. We all have this beautiful feminine spirit within us, and she's holding her sword of truth. She's calling it out. She's making a judgment call, right? And she's like, this is what I see. Queen of Swords is very mental, right? She's a planner. She's an analyzer. She thinks outside of the box, and she's above the clouds, right? She can see the whole thing. And she's saying, I see where I need to go, and I'm going to use my sword to cut away things that don't serve me anymore. And I'm going to point my sword and lead me into my next truth, right? Which is this next timeline you're calling it. The next card we got here is the Two of Cups. I love this card so much for so many reasons. But number 2 is decisions. We have decisions, right? We have the old, we have the new, we have the decisions on how we approach all of this, but it's bringing something into union, right? Making our cup of life and our heart feel so full. Perhaps this is a new relationship coming into your life. Maybe this is a union. This is a partnership. Maybe it's coming into union with self, right? We're not self-sabotaging anymore. We're not betraying ourselves for things that we used to say yes to when it was clearly a no to our soul and our path. And we're coming into balance with ourselves at this point in time, which is offering us this new opportunity. It leads literally to the 10 of Cups. And we see this lion in the back, this angelic lion. It is definitely graced by the angelic realm, right? The beings of light. And it's offering us strength and perseverance and reminding us to flow, not force, and keep on the path, right? Drink from the cup that you know is yours. And it leads you to the sun, which is our last card, happiest card, best card in the deck. We are being guided by our sun. We are being guided by our new timeline. We are being blessed with hope and abundance and clarity and rebirth. We are blessed with celebration and joy, and we are riding our white horse into this next timeline that we have worked so hard to create on an emotional, mental, and physical level, right? And this is just a beautiful reading, beautiful confirmation. And now I know why they made me do this reading before I got into bed, before I went to sleep, because they really needed to tell you about it. You know you're in a transitional period, but you are so surrounded. You are walking in light. Keep walking the course. Keep moving in light, friends. Keep creating what you know in your soul to be true. Do not fall back into comfort zones. Feel it and keep going anyway. Flow towards the sun. All right. Good night, friends. Wishing you lots of sweet dreams.